In a world where the line between reality and fantasy fades away, where silence carries a secret, and every whisper tells a story. Welcome to The Whisper of the Narrator. Here, tales are not just told, they are lived. Souls are reborn through words of mystery and magic, where fear, passion, and destiny intertwine. Every story you hear here will awaken something within you. So listen closely. The whisper begins now. Are you ready to listen? Chapter 5. The Inquisition. The Inquisition? I speak to myself out loud. Oh, Lucy claps his hands in a startled gesture. Lord Husband doesn't know what that is? How long have you been a vampire? Don't tell me you're a newborn. He spoke in a neutral tone, but it was pretty clear he was trying to tease me. I didn't expect the Princess of Clan Snow to have a plebeian husband. I think hell must be frozen by now. The woman next to Lucy said, "They're really trying to piss me off, but unexpectedly, I don't feel a thing about them. The feelings I have are something like this. Do you care what a bug thinks of you? I don't care, and I think that's why I don't feel anything. Is this your attempt to provoke me?" "Childish. I speak honestly," Lucy exclaimed, a little surprised. I realized the woman was surprised too, but I ignored her. I think they thought I would be angry since, according to Violet, newborns are very likely to lose control of their emotions. I would understand if you were a newborn who was talking to me, but you're an older vampire, right? Why are you being so aggressive? Are you menstruating? Or do you have a dick in your ass all the time? Is this woman not satisfying you? I think I should call little Timmy for you." "Timmy?" Lucy asked, confused. "Oh, you don't know the legendary Timmy?" I spoke with an unbelieving expression. It was like I was looking at two rare animals. I guess that living for so long does not mean that you are a man knowledgeable in modern affairs. I spoke in disdain. "Let me enlighten you, my little lamb. Timmy is a church boy. He's 2 meters tall, muscular, and he loves to purge vampires with his holy wand. I think he would love to bond with you," I said with a small smile. Violet inadvertently let out a small laugh for a few seconds, but soon she returned to her noble expression as she kept a small smile on her face. Lucy's smile slowly began to break. Slowly, and as if it were a lie, Lucy's mask began to fall apart. "Do you want to die, boy?" He spoke with an angry and aggressive tone. "In front of me is just an older vampire who is sadistic and likes to kill." "Oh, as expected from an older vampire, you're definitely getting senile," I sneered as I ignored Lucy. "Lucy, where do you think you are right now?" Violet spoke with a small smile on her face that showed all her sharp teeth. The air was suddenly heavy. Lucy could feel killing intent all over the mansion, and small beads of sweat began to appear on his face. Realizing the stupid thing he did, Lucy's expression does a 360-degree turn, and soon he starts to smile, gently. Cough! He pretended to cough, and spoke in an apologetic tone. "I'm sorry. about that slip, Lady Violet. The killing intent disappears, as if it never existed. But the atmosphere of surveillance still lingers in the air. Something tells me that if Lucy tries to do something, he won't stay alive for long. Well, I must surely praise how quick he is at controlling his emotions. As expected of an older vampire, I guess. What is the Inquisition? I ignored Lucy and spoke directly to Violet. The Inquisition is an organization made by the Vatican Church. They train humans to hunt down the vampires that are causing trouble in the human world. They use blessed holy water weapons and chant Bible verses to cause permanent damage to vampire mind. Oh, so they are vampire hunters? I said carefree. Why was I calm? Well, it's simple. There's no point thinking about a problem that hasn't happened yet. You'll just get stressed out trying to control the things you don't have control over. And at the end of the day, you become a paranoid and stressed person. The only thing I have to do right now is to learn more about this world and about the changes in myself. After all, I'm still a newborn, a little fish that has just been born in a new lake. Yes, Violet agreed. I reach up to Violet's ear and say, I tested in my room that the cross of Jesus doesn't affect me. So am I immune? You are not immune to church attacks. What you have in your room is just a normal item. The items used by the church are blessed by the Pope himself, the closest figure to God we have in this world. So does God exist? I asked curiously. I don't know, but I think so. After all, those weapons affect us, Violet replies, a little confused. Church, huh? I can't help but think out of curiosity. The church has been active for millennia, so this organization that works for the church must have a lot of influence in the world. Lady Violet, will you accept my request? Lucy asked. Violet looks at Lucy and replies, No, this is my territory, and I don't accept other vampires, even if the Inquisition is here. I and my family can handle it. I think this decision is wrong. I don't have much knowledge of the overall situation, but one thing I can say is I shouldn't trust Lucy. I get a tingling feeling every time I look at him. Oh, I already know. Honey, why don't you give our friend permission? Darling? Violet looks at me with questioning eyes. I just smile at her. She looks at me confused, but she nods, like she's telling me to do whatever I want. Isn't she cute? How many vampires do you intend to bring into my wife's territory? I look at Lucy. He evaluates me for a few seconds and responds, 50 vampires. Oh, that's too much. Are they all your offspring? Yes, they are my slaves. I see. You want to protect yourself from the Inquisition, right? We accept your request. You can bring the vampires, but I look at Kaguya, who was behind the sofa, and say a few words. Then Kaguya nods and disappears. A few seconds later, Kaguya comes back with the city map in hand. I place the map on the table in front of me, and with the pencil Kaguya also brought, I make a big circle on the map. Keep your minions out of this circle, I said while showing a circle on the region map. This circle surrounds Violet's mansion and my house, which for some reason was quite close to this mansion. Lucy looks at the circle on the map and nods his head. He looks at Violet for a few seconds, as if asking permission. Violet nods her head in agreement. Soon he got up from the couch and extended his hand. "Thank you very much, Lord Victor. I am indebted to your generosity." I flash a smile and get up from the couch. "Don't worry, friends were meant to be helped, right?" I look at his hand and shake it in a friendly gesture. I suddenly feel like he put more strength in his handshake. It feels like he's trying to break my hand. But he doesn't have enough strength. Isn't he an older vampire? He must be strong, right? Well, he asked for it. My smile grows unevenly. My sharp teeth start to show, and soon I just put a little more strength in my grip. Crack! His hand is shattered, but everyone ignores it except Violet, who was looking at Lucy as if she were looking at a dead man walking. Lucy looks at his hand for a moment. Then he looks at Violet. "Until another day, Lady Violet." Violet didn't say anything. She just nodded her head softly. Soon, Kaguya escorts the two guests out of the mansion. I sit down on the couch again, and Violet climbs into my lap. "What are you planning?" she asked as she wrapped her arms around my neck. "Bait, Lucy, is my worm that will attract the big fish." Violet opens her eyes a little, and then she flashes a smile. "Aren't you getting used to this vampire thing a little too quickly?" "Meh. Vampires are no different from humans. After all, they were once human," I reply. Then I continue. "When I went to my mother's work in the past, I learned a few things from the politicians my mother defended in court. Lies and truth are a fine line. Politicians have to live telling lies to get the jobs they have today. Lucy, he's a lot like these politicians. He's a scared fox. He wants to take advantage of every situation. You should know him better than me." Violet nods. Lucy is a vampire who specializes in bringing food to noble vampires. He has good ties to noble families. "By food, you mean humans?" Violet spoke mercilessly. "So that's why the Inquisition is here. They're after Lucy. It seems that using Lucy as bait was a good idea. I need to know the capabilities of this human organization, and though I can ask Violet to tell me, that would be useless. There is a big difference between seeing one person's capabilities in person and someone else telling you about it." I just nodded my head in agreement with Violet's words, but I felt a weird incongruity in my chest. Common sense is that I should care about this. After all, they're human beings, right? But why don't I feel anything? It's the same feeling as when I see a newspaper or television. You know people are hurting, but you don't care. I think seeing and experiencing tragedy is very different from just knowing it through someone else's mouth, huh? Normally, noble vampires don't need human blood. Huh? I don't understand now. Isn't that against everything being a vampire is? Violet looks at me. You can suck blood from humans if you want, but that won't quench your thirst. The noble species are a very strong type of vampire, and because of that, we need more blood than normal vampires. To avoid of us having to cause a mass genocide, we ask the witches to do a ritual where when we get married, so we will quench our thirst with our partner. Oh, that's why, when I went crazy, I'd rather drink Violet's blood than those men. But there are vampires who get bored drinking their wife's blood all the time. Because of that, vampires like Lucy exist. They kidnap humans and take them to the noble vampires who want to taste new flavors. Got it. Vampires are treating humans like cattle. Huh? Witches. For some reason, I smell trouble a mile away when it comes to witches. Witches? I question Violet. I really know next to nothing about this world, huh? Although some things are similar to movies. Witches are human women who, for some reason, acquire an energy called magic. They use that magic to alter some things related to nature. Do you remember the magic circle you saw in my memories? I nod in agreement. They were also created by the witches at the request of the ancient vampires. They'll do anything for money. They're mercenaries. If you pay the right price, they'll do anything for you. Heh, mercenary witches. Interesting. I flashed a small smile as I started to stroke Violet's hair. I feel Violet squirm in my arms, but I keep stroking her hair. Violet's hair is my favorite type of hair for women. Long hair, so I can stroke it as many times as I want. I feel like I will never get bored doing this. Soon, Kaguya returns, accompanied by Natalia, the blonde-haired maid. I also see that the vampires that were hiding in the fake walls were all in the basement now. Lord Victor, I think that is enough. If you continue, I think Lady Violet will die. Kaguya spoke in a neutral, emotionless tone, but for some reason, I could feel she was joking. I look at Violet and see that she was a flushed mess. Her breathing was ragged, and she was looking at me with obsessive eyes. But I did not do anything. I just caressed her. Looking out the window, I saw it was dawn. I have to go to college. Looks like I have to go back, I said out loud. Hearing my voice, Violet quickly wakes up from her drunken state and looks at me. You want to go back? But what's the point of studying now? You're my husband, and everything mine is yours. You just have to live here with me. I look at Violet. Calm down. I don't want to be a parasite that depends on my wife. I mean, it would be nice to let you be my sugar mama. But I'm a vampire, not a degenerate. Why are you going back to college then? Violet asked, a little calmer. Honestly, I was studying economics in order to get a degree and somehow help my family. After all, my family situation is not the same as when I was 15. I answer honestly. Then I continue. I even got a job at McDonald's that pays me $15 an hour. I use that money to pay for my college, but I look at my hand. I focus my feelings on my pale hand. Now, that's not necessary. There are several ways to make money with my current condition. And I'm not willing to abandon my family. If I'm not close to my mom, she'll get bored. After all, with her personality, she wouldn't make many friends. I laughed a little when I thought of my mom. Though I became a vampire, I don't intend to abandon my family and friends. I'm not going to act like an emo and say that I'm going to put my family in danger, and because of that, I need to abandon them. I may have changed my race, but I'm me. I make my own decisions. And since I know there's a way, I can't go crazy from bloodlust. The worry of hurting my family is practically non-existent. So you go to college just because you want to? Violet asked me, confused. Yes, I'm going to quit my job and go to college to enjoy school life a little. Because of my illness, I've always lived in fear of trying too hard. Because of my illness, I couldn't enjoy much of my life. But that's not an obstacle anymore, I said honestly. I always wanted to play sports. I always wanted to swim, to play basketball. But because of my illness, I couldn't do that kind of activity. I look at Violet. Don't you want to come with me? Huh? Her? Well, I want to introduce you to my family. You are my wife, right? You have to meet my family and friends. I plan to invite her to live with me, since if Violet comes to live with me, there will be few things that threaten my family's life. After all, these vampires seem to obey Violet's every word. If she is living with me, that will ensure that my family is protected. Violet displays a happy smile and starts hugging me again. I laugh and start stroking her head. She looks so happy. Yes, I'll go with you. In fact, I'm going to live with you. Let's go. She spoke happily as she got up and pulled me somewhere. Well, it looks like I don't need to ask her to move in with me. She did it herself. I thought as I smiled, satisfied. Wait, I spoke in a neutral tone. Violet looked at me. If you want to live with me, you have to promise to protect my family. Oh, is that it? That is something easy to do. Few people would dare to mess with my family, she said, smiling. Then she continued, my family is your family too, right? We are married. Of course I would protect your family. She spoke with a proud smile. I can't help stroking this woman's head. Isn't she very beautiful? Lady Violet was manipulated, right? Kaguya whispered in a not-so-low voice. Yes, and probably she doesn't even care about it, Natalia replied. Sigh, we're lost. What if Lord Victor decides to get his hands on us? Kaguya spoke in a neutral tone with exaggerated gestures. I doubt that would happen. He seems to have no interest in us, and Violet would probably kill us if that happened. Natalia replied again in a flat tone. True, a stalker's love is something difficult to understand, Kaguya said. Shh, don't say that. What if someone hears you? Natalia spoke in a louder voice. Are these women right in the head? And so, the whisper fades, but the story never truly ends. Each tale hides within it a new beginning, perhaps even another life waiting to be told. You've been listening to The Whisper of the Narrator. If this journey touched your soul, don't let it end here. Subscribe, stay, and listen again. For the next whisper will be deeper, darker, and more beautiful.